Okay, Jeff Boyardee writes in, he says, "Hey, Zach, if you had never even thought of starting a podcast, where do you think you would be in life right now? What career do you think you would be in, and where would its trajectory be looking like it was going? For better or worse? Also, do you picture yourself being as happy in whatever alternate reality where you didn't start the podcast? Thanks for the content. Keep it rolling, brother. Sincerely from Raiders territory, the only Chargers fan within a 100-mile radius or farther." So the origins of this podcast and this show are that I started it after my younger brother died 4 years ago. And if my younger brother Zane took his life. Zane committed suicide. And if Zane hadn't done that, I probably never would have become a content creator or a podcaster or a sports broadcaster. I was on a much more normal trajectory, honestly. I was playing college football. I was at school, had a longtime girlfriend of 2 years. Was getting, headed towards a degree in finance. Had no idea what I wanted to do with that, but like a business degree sounds good enough, And I've thought about occasionally, especially what if the show fell apart tomorrow? What would I go do? I'd probably go coach football, honestly. But if I worked if I did a normal job, I'd probably go back to school and I'd get a degree as an engineer or like an architect, honestly. And I think now that I've done this show and I've worked for myself and I've been alone, I could probably have the discipline now to go do school better and do it right. But would I be happy? No, I'd never be as satisfied. I am so fulfilled. I love doing the show. I love working for myself. I like having the freedom to talk about what I want to talk about. I get offers occasionally to go work for big networks, and I don't take them. I really don't want to do that. I could make a lot more money probably if I didn't work alone and didn't have, if I had more help and had a network behind me. But I don't want to work for ESPN. I don't want to have a boss telling me what I can and can't say. I want to have the freedom to call ESPN out when I want to, and I don't want to have to worry about, I think some people that work for certain networks are like, well, can we talk about The Last Dance? It's an ESPN production, and we're a different network, and we don't have The Last Dance, and we don't want to promote another network's thing. It's like, I don't want to have to worry about any of the politics of that. I like just talking and saying what I believe. But after my brother died, I really changed a lot. I lost my tolerance for nonsense. It made school really hard for me because I remember vividly, why does a journalism major, I was studying journalism to try to get a journalism and media production degree because I want to be a sports broadcaster. I always knew once I went to Washington State, that was my career path. And I was like, why does a guy who wants to talk about sports for a living have to take entomology, the study of bugs? That's ridiculous. It's nonsense. I still, to this day, I'm like, you're just stealing my money. You're trying to get money from me. I want a journalism degree, not a bug degree. Don't make me pay for the bug class. You're just taking my money. Why are you doing that? I just see the emotional trigger right there. I had professors that didn't like me, and I had all these I had to write about stories that were nonsense. It was a lot of nonsense. College for me, especially at Washington State, was so much ridiculous, just filler nonsense. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. And I just, Stronger Men in Sports was the only thing that brought me any peace when I was really struggling and having a hard time and when I hated school. It's a weird balance having the show be my job because for the longest time, and even now, I don't do Strong Opinion Sports for money. It makes money, thank God. I can live and exist, but I do the show because I love doing it, because it's passion for me. And when the passion isn't there, I actually don't make content. There was a break after coronavirus started and the XFL died. There was a week there was a week and a half where I didn't make any content because I was feeling depressed and burned out, and I didn't have the passion I do. And so when I don't have passion, I don't make the show because I just don't think I think I make the best content when I'm talking about stuff I love and I care about. And I know that's not great, and I know advertisers hate hearing that, and that's not good. And I hope even my followers hear that and are not concerned by that, because I know that consistency matters and giving them a consistent product. And that's why I work so hard on my mental health to keep myself in a good place. But if there's nothing to talk about, there's nothing to talk about. And if there's nothing worth talking about, why are we doing it? I just don't want to become... I see all these shows right now talking about nothing and filler nonsense, and I just don't want to be that guy. And I don't want to do it because I have to. I want to make the show because I love doing it. And I think it really matters. And I think if you can do a career that you're doing because you love it, that's the right way to do it. And so, I don't know. Would I be as happy in an alternate reality? When my brother died, when Zane died, sorry. I think that, I think when Zane died, try not to cry. It made me want to be happy. It made me want to pursue a career I liked. It made me want to wake up every day and enjoy my life. And I so much do that now. I so much love what I do. I so much love my life. And I'm so grateful for everything. And to people listening, I can't express enough to you guys how much it means to me to be able to do the job I do. To talk about sports for a living, it's a dream. It's amazing. And without Zane dying, I never would have tried to do it. I never would have even pursued that at all. Before he died, my plans never included enjoying life. I never thought about like, should I enjoy my life? Should I do something I like? It never occurred to me to even worry about that, really. And when Zane died, I was so miserable and so depressed. And I was like, I just want to do what I like. I just so badly don't want to do a job I hate. If I'm going to, I work 90% of my life. How many, there are 24 hours in a day. I sleep for like 5. So I work most of my day. Like what's 24 minus 5, 19. So I work probably 16 hours a day, all day. It's what I do, but I love it. And I watch a ton of film and I do a bunch of research really hard. And I wanted to do something I like. Now, even as Corona's happened, I've definitely slowed down. And I have moments where I'm watching the show called Outer Banks. It's phenomenal. I'm drinking cherry vanilla Coke. I'm hanging out with my girlfriend who's amazing. We go bike riding. Trying to focus on enjoying life. But that enjoying my life was never something I cared about until Zane died. I just was so laser focused on football and becoming a finance major and getting the house and the white picket fence, and I never cared about being happy. So, I'm just rambling a little bit today on these questions. I don't mean to, but I think it matters, man. I decided to enjoy my life, and that happened because of my brother dying. And so, Jeff Boyardee, in an alternate reality, I'm probably not as happy because I never would have had the thought, hey, maybe I should be happy. Maybe that's okay. In case you don't know, Strong Opinion Sports is not just a YouTube channel. It is also a full audio podcast. You can find it on Spotify, on iTunes, on Google Play, pretty much everywhere you find podcasts. And if you like podcasts, please do me a huge favor and give it a listen.